those people around you?
It's huge. I mean, it's my first experience of this kind, so it was very challenging to face everything, and that many people taking care of me and my backing singers, and people continuously coming and approaching me, asking if I need anything, bringing me water. I was like, oh, I might get used to this.
Thank you. So now we're going to take questions from our floor. Please, dear Nicholas.
Any questions? Hello?
Hi, Alistair Birch from Europhile. I have a question. You performed a year or two back with Calliope for the 20 years of independence.
Yes, I did.
Can you tell us a little about that? The thing with the high heels? And how do you deal with the unexpected on television?
This is a great question. Thank you, and thank you for your research first and foremost, because not many of your colleagues have brought this up so far. Yes, Calliope was actually the judge in the Macedonian Idol, where my musical career began. And after finishing the show, she invited a couple of the singers, like the four of us. She invited four of us to perform with her at the 20th anniversary of our country's independence. And yes, it was tricky because I was wearing like super high heels on stage and I twisted my ankle, but luckily one of my colleagues, Dan, his name is Dan, he was super tall and super strong, so he helped me, like I bent on him. He caught me. How I deal, I just go with the flow. The audience mustn't see if anything is going wrong, so you need to put your game face on and focus.
As well, we know that she gave a present to you, her earrings, right?
Yes, she did. She did. On the first audition, she liked what I did, so she gave me one of her earrings, but the other earring was a condition and a motivation at the same time, so I had to work even harder, get even better, and a couple of concerts later, I think it was the fourth show, I was singing Think by Aretha Franklin, and that's when I earned my second earring from Calliope.
Did you bring them here to you?
Yeah, kind of my lucky charm.
Thank you for that. So, do we have more questions from our press, from journalists? Can you tell us more, please, about your performance on stage, and of course about messages of your song?
Okay, I'll begin with the message of my song. It's a very energetic, but at the same time kind of sad song. Not sad in the term, in a way that it makes you cry, but in the way that it makes you think. So it's about stopping and smelling the roses in life. So you don't need to rush anywhere, because what is yours, it will come to you. And it also reminds us of how all of us, I would even use the term no exceptions, all of us tend to dance alone, but at the same time seeking for someone to dance with, which I think it's very oxymoronic, but very natural at the same time. So I would say that people need to take their time in life and just go with the flow.
So that time guide we have there on the screen, we don't have to care about it, right? Like we have only 10 minutes and 20 minutes.
Oh no, okay. Just
care about that.
Care about the time in terms of using it the best way possible.
And about your performance on stage?
My performance on stage looks the way it looks thanks to Ambra Suchi, the stage director and choreographer. She has helped me a lot in giving myself into the movements, not just copying the moves she has shown me. It's about an independent woman, a strong woman, a sexy lady, having fun with herself and enjoying the moment.
Can you tell us more, please, about your experience from the Idol, which you're basically bringing to Eurovision? What did you get the main things that you will show here on stage?
Well, the Idol, I was only 17 when I took part in the show, so I learned a lot there, and it happened to me in a time where changes are natural for people. I was 17, so I was on the border between underage and 18, and then it was the transit from high school to university. and also from anonymous to public, like a public figure. So it has changed me a lot, mostly in terms of communicating with media, controlling my language, being very picky when it comes to words, because words are the main tool of communication, and communication is the main tool of understanding. And what would we be if we didn't understand, if we couldn't understand each other? It has also taught me to like use the stage fright and nervousness in a positive manner. It has taught me to be more confident, even fake confidence sometimes. It helps you when you're on stage. Yes, so many lessons. I mean, I could go on forever.
Do we have more questions? Yes, question.
Hi.
Oh, hi, sorry.
Farouk from Eurovision magazine in France.
Hello. Salut.
Bonjour.
Ça va?
Merci, très bien. Et vous?
Merci.
Do you feel a little bit pressure because Macedonia didn't qualify since many years? I think the last time was Calliope.
Yes, 2012.
And is it more difficult when to participate when the country hasn't been in the final since a long time?
I wouldn't say it's pressure. It's more like additional motivation to bring my country back to the finals. So I'm very determined this time. And what was the other part of the question? That was it? So, yeah, no pressure.
Thank you. Please, next question is there.
Hey, Anna, good from history.com.
Hello.
Can you tell us about the story of your video clip, about the VR? It's very special and innovative, and there must be something more behind it.
I have a little question for you. Are you working with computers, or are you like an engineer or something?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, because mostly I get this question, or mostly computer engineers, or like people who work with programming and a lot of technology, they are super excited about the VR set. That's why I had that question. The story. Well, everyone can interpret it differently, but in my opinion, the old lady, which is the old Yana, and the young Yana, are existing at the same time, and the actual time in the video is when the old Yana exists. So she is thinking back of what she did in her life before, and you can see it in her face that she is like regretting something. And through the VR set, she doesn't literally go back to time, but she's only seeing the projection of herself in a parallel universe. And I think the real plot twist happens at the end of the song, I'd be dancing on my own, wishing you could hold me close. Because up till then, the first 3 minutes and a few seconds, the song is really strong, really independent, and you can see the young Yana dancing and like flirting with the guy, and then in the end, I'm sorry, I need to go back a little. Yes, she's dancing with the guy, pushing him away, but in the end, she is all alone because she insisted on dancing alone while she was young. And she is missing this person saying that she wishes he could hold her close.
Thank you.
Welcome.
We have one more question from there.
Hello.
Hello. I'm asking a question on behalf of my colleague from Brazil.
Oh, Brazil! I love Brazil. I have a friend from Brazil. Her name is Juliana.
You are one of the biggest favorites in the Brazilian community. Your song reached number 13 on the Spotify playlist.
So
Do you expect the fuss around Dance Alone to be also big in Brazil?
Excuse me, can you repeat the question?
Do you expect the fuss around Dance Alone to also be big in well, outside of Europe, like in Brazil or somewhere else?
Oh, I hope so. Brazil is one of the countries I would love to visit, so please say hello to your friends. Saudades, beijinho no ombro. Just say hello to your friends in Brazil, and if you have any connections, I'd be happy to perform Dance Alone in Brazil and continue the story of Dance Alone in Brazil.
Thank you.
Thank you. Muito obrigada.
Perfect. Next question we have here.
Hi, I have another question. I saw you, well, I didn't see you, I heard reports you were seen driving a Segway around downtown Skopje recently. Is that
Yes,
correct?
yes.
What was the experience like? Have you seen the many Segways here at Eurovision, and have you been tempted to join in?
Oh, I haven't actually seen any segways here in the venue. They're all over the place. Okay, well, yes, it's such an amazing experience, and I find it very eco-friendly and also very pragmatic because it helps you move around town with the speed of a car, but taking less space and doesn't produce anything that could cause damage to the air we're breathing. So I loved Segway, definitely, yes.
Thank you. Jana, I know you are doing a lot of charity work. For example, you've been singing for different charity events, you were at UNICEF. Can you please tell us more about this?
Yes, everything began in 2011. That's spontaneous confetti for us. Everything began back in 2011 when I got more of the public's attention. So people started inviting me to sing to different charities, and I've heard so many touching stories, I simply couldn't say no. And it became kind of an addiction, but it also helped me find my place in this world, not just exist like being here, but also helping others be there in the right way. UNICEF was a wonderful project. It was called Schools Free of Violence. So we had a couple of activities devoted to not preschool but elementary school and high school students. We were visiting schools and we were talking to children on how violence isn't the key, how they need to use conversation instead of the fist. We even recorded a song on the subject. It was very beautiful, wonderful experience. I've also done a lot of charity concerts for people with spinal atrophy. I'm not sure about the terms in English because most of them are either in Macedonian or Latin. Children with autism, Down syndrome, also retinopathy. I'm not sure about the term in English, but many, many concerts, which makes me feel like a good person.
Thank you. Do we have more questions from our floor?
One more, sure.
I have a question about when you were younger. Can you tell us about your interest in Harry Potter and what happens when you received the letter? You know the one I'm talking about.
Oh, wow! Where do you get all these information, mister? Yes, I still love Harry Potter. I was introduced to Harry Potter with one of my closest friends in primary school. His name was Marco. Hi, Marco. He is somewhere in the world. Last time I checked, he was in Japan, then he went to Spain, and he's all over the world. He's a very talented artist. So yeah, he introduced me to Harry Potter, and it was the book that taught me how important it is for a person to read in general. I got so addicted, and I even sometimes, I find my getaway with the Harry Potter books. I'm really stressed out. I just pick a random chapter and just read through the pages. I love it. And I got a fake invitation to Hogwarts. It was very exciting until the moment I found out it was fake. It broke my heart and I was really depressed. And of course I had a huge crush on Daniel Radcliffe, the actor who plays Harry Potter. I think it's a wonderful story. And it is very complicated at the same time of inventing a whole parallel society with legal system, with the economics, with an educational system. It's very
thumbs up to rolling. Joe, sorry.
Thank you. But you don't have to be upset. You always can go to Universal Studios all over the world, especially in California. They have like
Yes, of course. I can even get a role in some of the upcoming movies.
Exactly. So as well, I wanted to ask you that you have a very strong team, right?
Yes, my team.
How do you know we led you guys?
Yes.
Some of them, so please tell about this and
Yes.
this like a strong backup with you.
Yeah, the team we're talking about is Symphonics International. The composers of the song of Dance Alone are Borislav Milanov, Joachim Persson, Florence A. and Alex Zomar. They have a very rich and successful Eurovision experience too. They worked with one of our previous representatives, Daniel Hermakovsky. They also worked with Poli Genova last year, so they know the drill when it comes to Eurovision.
So do we have more questions? Thank you very much. Jana Borcheska from Macedonia.
Thank you, everybody.